So a couple of things I wanted to get into here on this wonderful Saturday. A few Jordan brand updates, which late yesterday evening we did learn that 2 more Jordan retros will be returning from the vault, which of course the cycle continues. But what makes these 2 releases special is actually Jordan Brand's bringing these pairs back for the very first time. So that's always fun, especially if you have nostalgia for any of those classics. On top of that, we did have a premiere retro drop from Jordan Brand. So let's go ahead and jump into that.
The art should never be like frowned down like that. This is all way too bold. There's no RFID in this. It's supposed to be a voyable stamp in this box, no voyable stamp.
Brand hit us with the Jordan 1 Flight Club, which you guys should be well aware of the theme by now, which tells the story of the old late 80s, early 90s Jordan Brand fan club, which this sneaker right here has a whole lot of touches which pay homage to that time, recreates that era, which of course would be included with the special packaging, all that good stuff, which I didn't actually know, but these joints do feature a pink pair of alternate laces, which I would say you guys are real bold, you know, if you pull off the pink look, but hey, nobody's out here judging. Now, as far as this sneaker, a little under the radar per se, does feature a gum bottom, white midsole. As far as the upper, it's kind of a combination of a denim suede type of finish, which is kind of interesting, right? Maybe if you guys didn't see these up close, you wouldn't know of that detail. You got the exposed stitching as well as an exposed tongue, and then there are some additional like small 3M hits included as well. So pretty cool pair as far as being under the radar. As you guys know, when you talk about Jordan 1s, maybe not one of the most popular models from Jordan Brand's catalog as it once was, but it's still a classic for a reason. Now, the reason this shoe may have caught a lot of people off guard as far as the stock numbers, the monitors did pick up the fact that Jordan Brand actually made these joints quite limited as far as through Nike and the sneakers app, which they reported just under 3,000 pairs, which of course, if you break it down by size, maybe a couple of 100 pairs per size, which did result in a sellout via Nike, which seems to be a new strategy that they're using, as they're using basically the sneakers app as almost like a marketing tool. Once people see their pairs sell out due to low inventory, they then go and try to, you know, grab these joints in store, go to other retailers, see if they're still available. So it's one of those cases where the joints did sell out quickly via the sneakers app due to low inventory, but it's one of those pairs which you could find via other websites. You could probably walk into your local spot, try these joints on, see if you rock with them, kind of like how we did in the good old days, not feeling pressure, you know, to try to grab these before they sell out and then getting caught up with a sneaker that you didn't even want, right? Now, I know resale prices aren't going crazy or anything like that, but again, one of those cases where, like, let's say you wear like over a size 11 and a half, big feet gang, is one of those ones which you probably didn't want to play with, as I'm guessing a lot of those more rare sizes have probably sold out by now. So definitely one of the more underappreciated releases here early in 2026. As far as the Flight Club series, you saw Jordan Brand hit us with a pair of 4s earlier this year. We got the 1s, so it's like, where are we taking things? What's next for the Flight Club series? Is this the it? Is this the end, or are we gonna see more releases? Maybe some surprises coming up later this year. Congrats to everybody that was able to grab these joints, especially say you were able to get them for maybe like under retail or something like that, but definitely a cool little underrated shoe, which features some cool, unique design elements. So that's what we had as far as today's big Jordan Brand drop. Late yesterday evening, as mentioned, we learned of 2 retros which would be returning from the vault. Of course, this info comes to us courtesy of Z Sneakerheads and Sneaker Files, the usual suspects. As you guys see, your Flight Club 1s and men's sizes have now sold out via night. Whoa, what are these triple stack Jordan 1s? Like, Jordan Brand, what's the deal with these joints right here? Looking kind of crazy. And on top of that, look, you got them in multiple colorways. Nah, these joints is wild. But in regards to those leaks, right, we have the Chartreuse, I guess is how you say it, Air Jordan 14 expected return. There's actually one of these 2027 releases, so we're a long ways off from the drop. But as I mentioned in the intro, both of these pairs are releases which Jordan Brand's bringing back for the very first time. So we originally saw this sneaker debut back in 2007, which, if we're gonna be real, like, we jumped back in the time machine. This was during an era where I maybe had like possibly maybe like 5 retros to my name. As far as my rotation, it was seeing a lot of the white and black Air Force lows kind of switching out. That's what I was wearing mostly of. So for being real, like, I really don't have any memories, any nostalgia of this sneaker dropping back at that time. But this is right before like Jordan Brand really started to increase the volume in releases. So you got to think back to that time. We weren't getting too many retro drops, so I could see how a lot of people would have this one highly coveted. Now, as far as the Chartreuse, or however you pronounce it, apparently it's some like ancient herbal liquor drink, which I don't know what Jordan was on back in that time, but I guess that's what the theme represents for this sneaker. So comment down below. Let me know if you guys have any fond memories of this sneaker. Again, Jordan Brand bringing these back for the first time, bro. It's crazy that 20 years has passed that fast, right? Kind of wild, right? Now, on top of this pair, these next joints, these 10s, to me, I got a lot more memories of. These are red steels, originally dropped back in 2005, which take it back to 05, right? I feel like this was still during that era where like nobody really cared if you was rocking fake J's or not, right? Nobody was really out here like inspecting the sneakers or anything like that. So it was just fun to kind of think back to those times. And the fact that a lot of people that were rocking these low key probably were fakes is kind of funny when you think back on it. But this is one of those good 10s, right? To play off the OG Jordan Steel, incorporated that red. For some reason, I always thought this was like a woman's pair or something like that. Never owned a pair, but definitely remember seeing these joints popping out a lot back in the good old days, man. 05, we saw a lot of 10s drop that year. What else did we see Jordan Brand drop? Dub Zeros were hot back in 05, believe it or not. I think Spizikes were having a moment back then as well. So it was just different times. We were also getting a lot of 14s that year as well. So some good pairs returning from 05. We got the Jordan 10 Red Steel, which right off the top of my head, Forest Green 5s or 14s also came back from 05 as well, which we're gonna see dropping coming up this year. So Jordan Brand tapping into that nostalgia, bringing back some retros, which haven't been overdone too often over the years. Cool to see pairs returning for the very first time, right? So the fact that it's been, what, over 20 years, right? It's fun, man. 2 OG, old school pairs return, not OG, but some old school pairs returning, right? And with that being said, we got Z Sneakerheads over here teasing the return, possibly, of another interesting pack. This is the Jordan 9 Kilroy pack, which these originally debuted holiday 2012. Now, all of these pairs all have an interesting theme, which you got the Johnny Kilroys right here. I can't remember the names, but they all represent various alter egos, which is a part of this whole marketing campaign during MJ's first retirement. But honestly, like taking it back to 2012, this was during that time where Jordan Brand definitely started to ramp up the volume of retro releases, and to drop a whole bunch of 9s, a model which even back then I would say weren't one of Jordan Brand's most popular models, was kind of wild. These were pairs which I just remember like kind of coming and going, releasing back to back. Didn't pick up many of these at the time, but looking back on it, I guess I would say probably my favorite. I definitely remember seeing people rocking the Kilroys. These joints, I forgot what they called them, but I remember seeing people rocking the red joints. The other ones didn't come across too often, but looking back on it, I would probably say like the black UNC joints were hot. You know, anytime you get a black UNC, it's always cool. And then these Florida Gator joints looking pretty cool as far as a unique color combo that you don't see too often, featured on a pair of Jordan Retros. So would you guys like to see the Kilroy Air Jordan 9 pack return? Honestly, for being all the way real, I would say like nah, but then again, I'm never mad to see a pair return, right? Every shoe's not made for everybody, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have nostalgia for a lot of these pairs, which definitely dropped. It's been a minute, man. 2012, the time flies by quick, but it's always fun to kind of take a nostalgic trip down memory lane, look back at some of these past releases. So the Jordan cycle continues. Let me know if you guys would be excited to see these joints return. Drop your thoughts on these Jordan 10 Red Steels. Do you have any memories of this shoe? Did you own these joints back in the day? Excited to see them return. Same with these 14s. And as far as today's premier retro drop, not these triple stack ones, but Flight Club ones. Definitely one of those more underrated pairs, which I have a theory that Jordan Brand kind of scaled back on the pairs. My guess is we're going to see a lot of restocks of these joints, you know, popping up here soon. But again, Bigfoot gang, y'all couldn't play about these joints. So let me know if any of you guys picked these joints up today. Just wanted to check in with y'all here. Couple of quick little updates. If you guys enjoyed this update, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way out, JATV. I'll catch you guys next time. Stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out. Love.